Hey everybody, good morning. It is David. I'm sitting here in my hotel in Leon, Spain. And we just finished being in Burgos, Spain for a couple of days, and we're in Leon here. My daughter actually spent a summer here at the university studying Spanish, and we are meeting with her Spanish mother, she calls her today, because when they do study abroads here in Leon, you're placed with a house family. So we are going to be meeting her today. She has remained a Facebook friend with my daughter for, gosh, about 10 years. So we'll be able to meet her today. Hey, as I mentioned, I'm in the process of grading application 2 on diversity. And obviously, over the last few days, I've seen a great deal of diversity. And I always just like to take a simple approach to words and to themes. I think sometimes we can overthink things. And so when we talk about diversity and we talk about definitions, um, my definition of diversity is simple. It's a one-word definition. It just means differences. And so I think sometimes if we try and dig too deeply, we can get too theoretical about things and we can get too cute about things. When in fact, to me, diversity just means differences. And differences can be good, differences can be bad. For the most part, I think they're good. And so that is anything from gender to to different orientations to thought processes and things of that nature. And if we ever get to the point, I believe, when we cannot celebrate differences, I think we might be in trouble. Um, so just think about that this week. The other thing I wanted to note, just a couple of cleanup things. Um, since this isn't 601, in 601 I spent a lot of time talking about how to make sure that you do not use definitive words in your writing, like will, is, usually, always, without support. Because if you can't prove it through a source, then I have to throw the fact or opinion flag out at you. And I've noticed in some of the writing this week, there are definitive words creeping in. And so do not use words like will, is, usually, always, are, if they're not supported by your research. Instead, use words like may, could, those types of words. May sound picky, but in today's environment, where people throw stuff out with Facebook posts and fake news and everything else, definitive words are used, and if they're not proven, you just look silly. And so try to get in the habit of using may and could instead of those other words. By the way, I still struggle with this as well. So there may be times when I'll make a response and I'll use words like will, is, without support. And if that happens, seriously, send me an email and go, David, I have to throw the fact or opinion flag on your comment because you did exactly that. So this is not easy. It's not an easy task to do. So just make sure that you begin to focus on that. The other thing I want to make sure too is that there are a few folks who are getting in the habit of providing direct quotes. Again, I do not care for direct quotes. I would much prefer to see your opinion of the source's words. And so it's way too easy to cut and paste somebody else's thoughts. I'm more interested in your thought on what they said. Of course, in both instances, you have to cite the author and the source, but I would much prefer to see how you've translated those and how you've applied those words that they have going forward. Okay, just a couple of things here quickly on a Tuesday morning here in Leon. I will chat with you soon. The end of this week, we're going to be in Pamplona. And no, we're not going to be doing the running of the bulls, but I'm been looking forward to going to that city for a little while. We've done a lot of time in southern Spain, but never been much here in northern Spain. So hopefully I'll shoot something outside in Pamplona, and you'll be able to see some of those things. All right? Have a great week. Contact me if you need me. Take care.